Gender roles and discrimination. In the movie Mulan, gender discrimination and social expectations are present throughout the film. To wrap up the movie, it's about a daughter, Mulan, who goes to war as a replacement for her elderly father, who would most likely perish. She becomes a soldier and top of her class. Mulan was eventually caught as her female self, and all her accomplishments was buried with her. After losing the respect from her comrades, she saved the emperor from the Mongolians, who attacked again, and was respected by the entire empire. Point 1. Discrimination on females in China. In the movie, the setting takes place in ancient China. Back then, the discrimination and roles that females had from the standard that society made is completely different from today, but still is observable in the movie and different parts of the world. The discrimination and roles that females had in the movie can be seen as socially constructed / culture-based. For example, the emperor's representative tells Mulan to shut her mouth in a man's presence when she tries to stop her father from receiving his will into the army. Silence. You would do well to teach your daughter to hold her tongue in a man's presence. Another example of gender discrimination is when the emperor's representative confronts Mulan after saving China. The emperor's representative calls Mulan a creature and says that she is not worth protecting because she is a woman and that she will never be worth anything. In the movie, you can tell that the discrimination and roles of gender is socially constructed because of the characters who hear offensive sayings tend to just go along with it. If the rude comments from the movie were to be said today, the person who said it would get a lot of whiplash because of the difference of social norms from today and in the movie. Point 2. Boy versus girl, and how society puts the difference in gender rather than biology. There is something that you should identify as. In the movie, it shows that the characters are placed into roles rather than what they feel like. An example of this is how the females can't have a male aspect to them, like being tough or rough, and they have to be fragile. And the same thing with men, where they have to be masculine and cannot have a little soft side to them. The difference in sexes is more based on what society has taught us rather than what biology actually is. This can be seen in the movie where only males can join the army. It can also be seen in the song Dark Side of the Moon. Dark Side of the Moon is sung by the military leader, which he is trying to tell his group that he'll make a man out of them. One part of the song literally says that you brought me daughters when I asked for sons, which can be interpreted that you brought me something weaker than I've expected. And now that the military leader has to make a man out of the daughters that they've sent. From this, it could be seen that the society puts the difference in gender rather than biology, because the top of their class was Mulan, which is a female that just pretended to be a man. From this, it could be said that genders can have both sides of the spectrum and not specifically one side. Point 3. Gender roles and norms. Many gender roles and norms can be seen in the movie Mulan. One obvious example would be men having to go to war. Even though Mulan's father is elderly and crippled, he still has to go to war because he is the only man in his household. Another example of male gender roles is when Mulan's group leader's father dies and does not show any emotion and moves on. From this, it can be said that the society that Mulan is living in has a very strong sense of their masculinity and what they have made it to mean. While Mulan's father has to worry about going into battle, Mulan has to worry about going to meet the matchmaker. Meeting the matchmaker represents her going to find a future husband. In the song Honor to Us All, Mulan is taught how to be ladylike according to their standards, so that she can bring honor, which is really saying to have a husband. In the song, many gender norms are shown, like having a tight waist as a female, and being patient and obedient to her husband. In the film, Mulan chose to have her own type of individuality instead of having a molded form that society wants to have on her. But what Mulan is an independent woman. Mulan does not fit her society's sculpture of normal because of how dependent the female is supposed to be in their society. Mulan's characteristics find a more even role to play, especially in relationships, which would fit a more modern-day North American female.